everyone, welcome back to our second session of the lesson Clever Rita. This is Sandhya. In our previous session, we saw a story about Clever Rita and how she saves her grandfather with her presence of mind. I'm sure you all would have read the story once or twice. Let's continue the story now. Let's read out the story once again. Follow the audio carefully and read along with the audio. Run your fingers through the text as you read along.
Clever Rita. The summer holidays were here. Rita was excited to visit her favorite grandfather in Ooty, a hill station in Tamil Nadu. Rita reached Ooty with her parents. She spent time telling her grandfather about her school. The next day, Rita's parents went to meet a few relatives. They left Rita in her grandfather's care. Before leaving, Rita's mother told her, "Do not trouble Grandpa. If you need anything, call me. My phone number is on a note pasted on the fridge." Rita sat down with her coloring book. After coloring for a while, she wanted to play. She asked her grandfather, "Grandpa, can we play hide and seek now?" "Sure, my dear," said her grandfather. Excited, Rita ran off fast to hide under the cot in her room. She kept peeping to see if her grandfather was coming. He did not come even after several minutes. "Why has Grandpa not come yet?" she thought. "Grandpa, where are you?" shouted Rita. She walked into the drawing room and found him lying on the floor. He looked as if he had gone to sleep. He was not responding to her calls. Rita did not know what to do. She started to cry. "Oh, Grandpa, please get up. What happened to you?" She said to herself, "It's no use crying. I should do something to help him." Rita remembered that her classmate John had once fainted in her class. Her teacher had sprinkled some water on his face to wake him up. She quickly brought a glass of water. She sprinkled some on Grandpa's face. He opened his eyes but was unable to talk. Rita quickly called her mother, but there was no response. Rita then ran to their neighbor, Aunt Divya's house. She told her what had happened. Aunt Divya quickly called the ambulance. Rita went back home and called her mother. Soon the ambulance arrived. A doctor gave Rita's grandfather an injection. He felt much better. Rita's mother and father also arrived. The doctor told Rita's parents, "You have a very smart daughter. If not for her, this man could have been very ill." "Rita, we are so proud of you. You took such good care of grandfather," said her parents. Grandfather said, "Thank you for helping me, Rita." Rita was relieved that her grandfather was not ill anymore. She was also happy that she solved a problem well.
Well, there was a question posted for you all at the end of our previous session. What was the question? Yes, the question was, what is the emergency number to call for an ambulance in your city? I'm sure you all would have found the answer. In common, it may be possible to dial 108, which is a free service number in majority of parts of India. It may be possible to dial 1290, which is a paid service available to call the ambulance in some parts of India. In Delhi, we may dial 102 or 1099 to reach the ambulance services. Well, now we learnt one new word from the story. What was that? Sprinkle. I'm sure you all would have tried to create few sentences using this word sprinkle. Now let's move on with the look deep activity. As we all are aware, look deep activity where we try to think hard about a situation, reason out the theme of the lesson in real life. Look at your screen now. This is your look deep activity 6.2. We all know that Rita helped her grandfather and solved a big problem. What are the things Rita did? Children, you may think of what Rita did to wake up her, then whom she called for help, and such other things when you write your responses. You may go back to the text of the story to find out the answer for these questions. Let me read out the questions for you. It is given, we just saw how Rita solved her problem. List 3 things Rita did to help her grandfather. As we discussed, you may refer the text of the story. Last question is given, which action taken by Rita helped her grandfather the most? She was trying to do many things, right? Out of that, which action of Rita helped the most? Now open page number 4 of your studio and write today's date. Else, you can use your notebook, write today's date and mention the activity number as Look Deep Activity 6.2 before you begin. Now, you may pause the video for 15 minutes to complete this activity. Press play once you are done. Welcome back. I hope it was easy to complete the activity. Let's quickly check your responses for the Look Deep activity. Let me read out the responses for the activity. It was asked, what was the 3 steps or what was the 3 actions taken by Rita to save her grandfather? So I wrote, the first response was Rita sprinkled water on her grandfather's face. She brought him some water to drink. Second, she called her mother for help. And the third, she called her neighbor aunt Divya for help. The last question, which action taken by Rita was most helpful for her grandfather? So the last action, right? Because the neighbor aunt immediately called for ambulance. Right? Well, I'm sure it would have been helpful for you to check your understanding of the theme of the lesson. Now, let's see how we can solve any problem. Most problems have a number of solutions. We need to choose an option that can best solve the problem at hand. Let's read how a problem can be solved. Now look at your screen. Here there are some ways given how Rita had solved a problem. It is given stepwise. Let us look into the table. It's given how can a problem be solved. Let us revisit. Revisit means let's see again. Revisit how Rita solved her problem. Now think about the facts of the problem. It says, what is the fact of the problem? We need to understand first. For that, Grandpa had fainted and there was no one at home to help Rita. This was the fact, right? This was the situation Rita was in. Second thing, the second step, think of different solutions for the problem. What are the things Rita thought? First thing she did, she sprinkled water on her grandfather's face. Second, calling her mother. Third, calling the neighbor aunt Divya for immediate help. So, these are all the actions she thought. Next step is given as try one or more solutions. What are the solutions? Whatever she thought, she tried applying the same, right? Identify the best one to apply. Which was the best one here? When she called her mother was not answering. So for that, was she sitting and crying simply? No, right? She ran immediately to her neighbor aunt and asked for immediate help. So that worked better here to save Rita's grandfather, right? So when one solution does not work, it is important for us to try another one, right? This is how we can solve any problem wisely. Here, how Rita first sprinkled the water on grandfather's face, then she called her mother for help. When the mother was not picking up her phone, she called her neighbor aunt for immediate help. Similarly, we all must choose the right option that can best solve a problem. Well, with that, we have come to the end of this session. I shall meet you all in our next session with few more interesting activities. Till then, keep reading this story again. See you, bye.